Well, good evening, everyone. Coming to you live from the Sugar Shack again. I haven't been in the Sugar Shack for a few days. We've had some crazy weather. We had freezing rain, and then quite a bit. It's say on the trees. Excuse me, for like 2 or 3 days. Rained it, and then it melted. Oh no, wait. Then it snowed. Then now today it's raining. It's melting everything. Woke up this morning like 7 degrees. So the sap was running. So I ran out and collected as much sap as I could. And then supposed to get into a deep freeze this evening, like minus 21 overnight. So I'm full right now, so trying to catch up on some of the sap. I was going to pull some syrup off this evening, which I probably will right now. Well, not now, but probably in a bit. I had two thermometers. One's not working, and the other one I can't find. So I usually like to test my thermometer, or I like to use my thermometer in my syrup to make sure I get up to about 103 degrees before I pull it off. How's it going? Thanks for dropping by. We're in the Sugar Shack making syrup tonight. I'm probably going to pull off my syrup anyways, sometime this evening anyways. It looks like it's getting close, and I would like to pull it off and have some more because I've only got 11 liters of syrup so far, and normally by this time I would have had way more than what I got. So here we are. That's what we're at. Let's take a look and see how she's looking in here. Let's drop in and check out this boil here. So we're getting pretty close to syrup. I really wish I had a thermometer that was working. I just can't find it. So I'm just going to guess this evening. Because if what I don't like doing is guessing, because if I guess the temperature, guess when I pull it off, then I need to end up boiling 3 hours in the house, which takes forever. So I'll try to get it as close as possible to the temperature I need it to, and go from there. But yeah, I figured it to be probably be here until about 8 o'clock this evening, boiling away, and then I'll drain the pan, clean the pan quickly, and then I'll flood the pan right full because, like I said, it's gonna freeze up, so everything in the milk tank's gonna be frozen. So I want everything in here tonight. So at least if it freezes in here, I can start boiling again tomorrow and have at least some form of oil on the way. So that's the plan. Get the syrup off this evening, fill the pan full of raw sap, and then hopefully boil tomorrow. I'm actually going to boil it. I'm actually going to go check out another Sugar Shack tomorrow that's close by. A friend of ours knows some people just down the road from her, so excuse me. I'm going to go drop by and check it out because no one's boiling tomorrow because it's going to be way too cold for that. But yeah, that's the way she goes. I'm just going to put the camera this way. There we go. Get a better view. More view there. All right. Starting to smell really good in here. It really starts smelling the nice sweetness of the syrup coming up. There we go. So I still haven't had enough sap yet to fire up the big boy. I'd be interested in seeing how much sap has run since I collected. I collected around 330 today again, so I'd be interested to see how much is actually out there again. But I don't have patience going out there in the wet weather. My four-wheeler's not working properly again, so it's a bit of a hassle to get the sap back right now. I've got some parts coming in, hopefully tomorrow, maybe Thursday, but I'm hoping they come in tomorrow, Wednesday, so I can actually get my four-wheeler fixed. The electric start's gone on it. Excuse me. The solenoid's got on it, so I got to repair that because pull starting the four-wheeler's no fun, and the choke cable as well. So I've got a choke cable on order as well. So I've got a friend, he's got to come over and help me fix that up. Hey, thanks for dropping by. Feel free to leave comments. Got any questions about making syrup? Have at her. So let's go check it out. I'm actually going to have to put some wood in the evaporator in a few minutes here. So here we go. Nice little bird's eye view. And here's my sap coming in here. Boiling away nicely now. Smells so good. Can't wait to get this batch off and try some of this out. Ah! What's going on to me? So there we go. Boil, boil, boil. We're going to get some wood in the evaporator in a second here. Thanks for dropping in. We're close to getting some syrup off the pan here. It's looking real good now. Come back in for a nice close up here. Check that out. Beautiful boil. Got a nice boil from front to back. Getting lots of that water out of there. Throw it up with that nice sweet syrup. I was saying previously too that my pan is a little funky this year. It's a little on the extended side too much this way. But that's all right. I work with what I got. Okay. I'm going to wood's gonna go in a few minutes here. So we'll just hang out. Excuse me. Popping on my dinner apparently still. I'm not sure what's more exciting, watching paint dry on a wall or watching sap boil. Both two very exciting events to have fun. So there we go, boiling away beautifully. Thanks for dropping in, everybody. Got any questions about making maple syrup? Throw some questions in the comments there. Don't feel free to hit the like too. We're gonna hopefully pull some syrup off this evening. I was just saying earlier on that I've got two thermometers. One's not working, and I can't find my other one. Usually, I like to take the temperature of the syrup before I take it off. I like to have it around 103 Celsius. Because finishing is usually 104. So I'm just gonna guess this evening, but it looks pretty close in here. Come on up and take another look here. Like I said, feel free. You got questions? Please have at her. Got my slats coming in here as it evaporates off. Smell really good. I'm hoping with this batch here that I'm going to have about 10 liters or so. Usually with this pan, I usually aim for about 10 liters to pull off. Last batch we did here was 11 liters, first batch. So hopefully this batch we get another 10 liters, takes up to 21 liters. It's been a slow year. Sap hasn't been flowing. Temperatures haven't been doing what we want them to do. So yeah, here we are. I think last year, this time I probably would have had like 50, 60 liters of syrup. This year, like I said, just 11. So hopefully, if it all goes well, it'll be another 10 or 11 liters here, which would be awesome. We got a bunch of pre-orders. We've got 2 or 3 restaurants using our syrup this year. And I need to make more syrup, so I have lots for myself as well. We've dipped into our reserves for the restaurants, actually. So, yeah, just playing a catch-up game. Okay, I'm going to go set you guys up here for a second. I'm going to drop some wood into the evaporator real quick. See if that works there. Hopefully you don't fall over. It's a good view there. There you go. Just gonna do one giant piece right now. All right. Hey, Helen, how you doing? Yeah, the piggies are cute. They were unexpected little piggies. We had a pig that had a hernia, and we tried to fix one previously that had a hernia, and that didn't go so well. So we just left him, and we didn't realize he was still in with all the girls. And he probably bred like. So we have 10 piggies right now, baby piggies. And then there's one more girl. She's about to pop any day, any minute. And that pig Lucy, she usually gives us like 10 to 11 piggies at once. So it's going to be a lot of pigs around here. So I think we're going to try selling some of them for pretty cheap because we don't need like 500 pigs kicking around here. Way more than we need. But they're pretty adorable when they're small. They're quite adorable, I must say. They're very snuggly. And they're really, actually, this round, they're pretty cool colors. There's some that are really belted. They have a nice white stripe down the middle and different colors on the ends. And there's some that are fairly white as well. So it's kind of neat to see all the different colorings you get every time you have piglets. There's a lot of them that are usually like black and brown or black and reddish. But I like the lighter color ones. They're pretty neat looking. So yeah, I was saying to people earlier on that I'm hoping to pull some syrup off tonight. We'll go take a look again here. Go along nicely. So once you start seeing bubbles like this, you're pretty close. Someone once told me if it's starting to look like Coca-Cola boiling, then you are pretty close to having syrup. But I'm probably going to leave a bit longer than I want to. I just want to make sure that I have at a high enough temperature because usually I take it off way too early. And then my temperature is like 102, and then I got to sit around for 2 hours inside the house boiling away. So I'm trying to get everything right down so I don't have to boil like hours in the house before I boil. Yeah, I'm just going to sit here quickly. Hopefully it's not too dark. I just got to scoop some of the foam off the top here. I've got a little spatula here, a little strainer here. I go through and scoop off some of the foam. And usually when the foam starts getting this color, like this brownish color, I'm not sure if you can see from there, then you're pretty close to having syrup. I just have a little bucket over here that I toss it all into. So I don't know if you can see the nice golden color coming off there now. All right, that job is done. So I slowed the boil down a bit because I put a really big piece of wood in. Usually I just toss small ones in, but I do have some bigger pieces here to use up. But we'll see how that goes. Ha! Yeah, I love taste testing. So usually what I do is my first batch of syrup every year. My tradition has been to make some waffles because I like waffles quite a bit. But I haven't had time to make waffles this year for my first batch of syrup, so I need to get on that soon and do waffles and syrup. So good. And then usually I sometimes put some blueberries on it, but now that I like the taste of the fresh syrup first of the season again. How's the weather over? I think you said you're Wilberforce area. We've had all that freezing rain hit well. I'm sure you guys got it over there as well. And yeah, warm today, and then getting down to really cold temperatures again this evening. I might move myself over this way a bit. So I'm in the lane a bit. It's dark over there. There we go. Now we can see a bit better. I should really get one more light put in here. We had the electrician put the light in here. We just did the one. But since I got this window in here, so I got cut up my finger this afternoon. I was out in the sugar bush collecting sap, and I put some saddles on so I could bring my main lines down, or my lateral lines, and one of them was leaking really bad. So I came back, went back out and rushed really quick and sliced my finger pretty good. Actually, while I'm here, I've got my tools here. I'll show you some of the tools I use in the sugar bush for doing things. So I got my backpack here. All right. And this tool I got to fix as well. Everything is breaking on me here. All right. See, I put my glasses on to read the questions, everything. Yeah, winter's back again. All right. So here's my one tool I have here. It expands. I lost the screws on it, so I need to get the screws and fix it up because it's supposed to be screwed in the center there. But what this tool does is for my tubing. So when I'm putting my tubing up, you put your tubes between these ones and then you clamp them down, cut them, and you put your joints together. So I think I've got some here in my backpack. So yeah, so your spouts like this. So if you got one of your lines in here, you can put your spout in here, you push them together, so it seats it into your line nicely. So I use this tool. I don't use it much anymore, but I'm usually using it. You know, when I first set up all my lines, this tool was extremely handy. It's like a $300 tool, but it's paid for itself over and over again. I'm still using it if I have to splice lines or if the lines have stretched out. I need to cut them shorter, tighten them up again. So this comes in handy, this tool. I don't really know the name of it, but yeah. Let's see what else I got in my backpack here. There's one other tool I just got this year. Where is it? Here it is. And so, because I have red main line, which is like a 3/4 inch pipe all the way down through my sugar bush, and I have all my other lines coming to that main line. So I didn't have like 15 lines to the bush anymore. I just had the one big line really. I drilled a hole last year. I just used my syrup, my tapping drill into the main line, but the tubes were all leaking because they weren't sealed properly, and I didn't realize you need another tool for that. So I bought this tool like 3 weeks ago. It's a $150 tool. So maple syrup is expensive. You got to do all these dumb tools, but it's basically just a drill bit here, and you clamp it onto your tubing like this, and then you just drill your hole, and then it makes a big enough hole that your I think I want the parts here, so that your saddle can sit down into the hole and not sit up and out. Oh no, I might take it out. Oh wait, here it is. So this one doesn't have a spout on it because this is actually one to block fill up holes if you drill too many holes. But it's hard to tell here with the light. But in the very middle there's a little drop down hole or spout. I'm not sure what you want to call it. Spigot that goes into the hole you've drilled, and that does your seats it in, and you clamp it on real tight. Yeah, you have to tell you happy with the tools. Yeah, you know what? There's so many tools. It's ridiculous. Then there's tools for the main line too, which are bigger and they're just expensive. But I don't need that for the main line because I just have a very small setup here. Every time you turn around, you spend like $200 on syrup stuff for tools and whatnot. All right, I'm gonna have to throw some more wood in here quickly. Gonna set the camera back up here. All right. All right, it's all loaded up again. Ready to go for another round. Thanks. Have a great night, Helen. Thanks for dropping in. Have a great night. All right, so we're back to just chilling out. We are hoping to have some syrup by this evening, and yeah, it's going well. I think I've been boiling for 2 days now, so I'm not sure how many gallons or liters of sap I've gone through, but I want to say close to 150 gallons I've been boiling, and it's probably another 80 or so, I think, in milk tank. But I really want to get that out of the milk tank this evening so that it doesn't freeze up on us here. It's nice now too with the lights being out, so usually by 7 o'clock I'm done, but a late start, and then we had to run to town this afternoon as well for about a half hour. So I haven't been boiling all day. Plan is to boil probably till about 8 o'clock, and to pull the syrup off, and then we'll get the pans cleaned up and start another round for tomorrow. I'm gonna flood the pans tonight and fill them right to the very top, which you're not supposed to. You're only supposed to fill them about 1.5 inches for fast boil, but because it's gonna freeze up in the milk tank, it's not gonna be able to gravity feed down because it's gonna be so frozen. So I just want to fill this up really well, and then that will be ready to go tomorrow morning. I can just light it up and slowly bring it up to a boil. Even though it's going to be like a brick in there, that's okay. That's just the way it goes sometimes. You need to adapt to your situation. And yeah, here we are. Boil away nicely. Oh, that steam coming off, all the moisture from the sap. It'd be interesting to test my bricks. Like 2%, I would think, or 1.5 to 2%, maybe 3. But yeah, we don't do reverse osmosis here. It's straight up wood and boil and wood. It's a long process, but I think it makes a big difference not using the reverse osmosis. That's just me. A lot of people think that as well. But a lot of people say, "What's this syrup?" They come back for more. They can't get away from it. So there we go. Nice boil going right now. I really hope to be pulling off around 8 o'clock. I don't want to be out here all night long. Makes for a long night. Like I was just saying, I haven't been boiling. I didn't get it boiling till a late start this morning. So I need to make up for lost time. Oh. Usually I have my music going, but not when I live stream, so that you guys can hear me talking. And this is the nice drawl of the fan over there. So I think I've shown you guys before. I got my fan up there, so it sucks all the steam out, which is nice. We'll just relax for a few minutes, let it boils away, and thanks for dropping by. We're making some syrup tonight. Should be pulling off probably around 8 o'clock. I'm hoping. It's a nice evening to boil before it freezes up tomorrow. So there's our pan there, boiling away nicely. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I think this is my maybe 10th season of making syrup. Can't remember. It's been a while. I think 6 years here, 5 years here. Yeah, probably close to 10 years of making syrup now. So there we go. 10 years of making syrup. Every year I keep making, well, I keep trying to make more every year, but last year my numbers were down because of the odd season. I believe my numbers will be down again this year. I'm only at 11 liters now. I'm hoping once we pull this off, we'll have another 11 liters or so. And yeah, by this time last year, I had already been close to 50 to 60 liters of syrup. I had so many buckets in the house, I couldn't keep up with it. So here's the boil here. Looking good. Smelling even better. I'm going to grab my strainer quickly here, and I'm going to strain off some of the foam on the top. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Just set you up there so we can see. All right. And once I skim this foam off, I will be throwing some more wood in quickly as well. How you guys doing tonight? Having a great night, I hope. All right. We got some of that foam skimmed off there. I'm going to set the camera up on the other side here while I get some wood into the boiler here. This is my nice stack of wood over here. I'm going to set it on this side so you can see me talking up the fire here. Hopefully, there we go. Should be a good angle right there. All right. Ready to go for another 5-10 minutes. It's getting to be a lot of embers in the firebox there, so it's getting pretty warm when I open the door. I usually try to clean it out after every boil if I can, just so I can have a fresh start because the firebox isn't very big in there. So there we go. Thanks for dropping in. Where are you from? Feel free to ask questions in the comments. We're hoping to have some syrup by the end of this evening here, and then start all over again before the deep freeze kicks in tomorrow. I'll have to check my milk tank at the back here. So we have a milk tank just, I don't know if you can see through the window there. That is where we store our sap once we bring it back from the forest. Is there a maple syrup broker? Only if you're in Quebec. Quebec has that cartel, the maple syrup cartel. I forget what they're called. There's a movie on, or a series on Netflix. What's it called? Sticky. And it tells a story of the cartel. So basically what happened was, what happens in Quebec is they have association or a governing body that oversees all the syrup. So they control all the syrup that goes through Quebec there. They go to everybody's farm and they record what they have. They take it all and then they end up selling it, but the farmer doesn't get paid until the syrup is sold. So who knows when you get sold? And it's sold. They sell for a lot less than what like a farmer could sell. Like I sell my syrup for $30 a liter, so they're selling theirs for I don't even know way less barrels. So it's kind of sad. I'm glad I'm not in Quebec because I'd probably be under the radar selling out the back of my door regardless. Basically, the broker here is me. You want some of my syrup? You gotta come talk to me or message me. I've shipped syrup to quite a few places. My syrup's been to California where my brother lives. I think one of my bosses, her daughter was in Dubai, and she sent some syrup to Dubai. And I got people across Canada buying. I got guys out in British Columbia that buy from me all the time. So yeah, I am the broker. It's a lot better that way because you can set your own prices. I've got there's a lot of people that sell their liters for $25 a liter, but I do it for 30. I've always sold for 30. I always sell out. I'm all wood fire evaporator. I don't do reverse osmosis, so it's a bit longer process, but I think the quality, the flavor is there. You can tell the difference. My brother that came up from California, he was up here last summer, and he was going to take 2 bottles home with him, and he tried some, and his jaw dropped to the floor. So he ended up taking 4 bottles back home with him and polished them off quite quickly, I must say. That's the best stuff he's ever had. And then a friend of mine last year, he bought another bottle from the year before. So that's a good thing, I guess. But yeah, my numbers are down this year. I was saying earlier on that I think last year I made 178 liters. The year before it was like 228. And this year I've only got 11 liters done, and I'm hoping to get at least 10 to 11 liters off tonight. The syrup season has been up and down. It's been not thawed enough. The temperatures haven't been fluctuating. And we're coming to another deep freeze for a day or two. So it's not going to stop flowing. Then it's going to get warm for 2 days again. So hopefully it flows for 2 days. It's going to stop again. So it's all over the place. A little frustrating. I was hoping to be in here at least for a good week, solid straight, just boiling away. I haven't even fired up my big evaporator yet here. I've just been using my small pan. So this is the big evaporator here. I think it's like 7 feet long, 2 feet wide. So yeah, I didn't even use this yet this year because I haven't had enough sap. Once the sap starts flowing, this thing gets fired up. I have both of them going, and I can't keep up then. I think it was like 2 years ago. I had 6,000 liters of sap in like 4 or 5 days. It was ridiculous. I could not keep up. That milk tank was like filled to the brim, was almost overflowing. So it was quite the marathon. I was kind of tired of making syrup after that point because I was up at like 5 in the morning, get out here for 5:30ish, start my boil. I'd be out here till like 8 o'clock at night, and then repeat the process every day. I was exhausted by the end of it. But yeah. So once we pull it off here, I got to take it inside still, and I got to finish inside on the stove because I was saying earlier on, my thermometers are broke. I've got 2 thermometers for doing my maple syrup with. One's not working properly. I just put new batteries in and it's not working. And then the other one, I don't know what I'm doing. It's been sitting on the counter and it's just disappeared. So I have to run to the hardware store tomorrow to buy a new thermometer because I really like to test my syrup before I take it in. I usually try to get up to 103 degrees, 102 degrees, and it's usually finished around 104 degrees. This is Celsius. And if it's only like 102, I can be sitting inside for like 2 hours still boiling down, get that extra 2 degrees out of it. And then I have a little hydrometer as well that checks the sugar content. So I gotta use my glasses because I can't read anything. I actually busted my glasses up there. I had them in the sugar shack here, and I fell down. I didn't see them, and I've been walking all over them. Arms broke off, so now they're all scratched up. Oh well, that's the way it goes. Such is life. Okay, yeah. If you want to be in Bancroft, let me know. Send me an email. I can. It's just my name, JONFAULKNOR @gmail.com. Send me an email, and I'll give you my address, and you can drop by and pick a bottle up here. You can check out our homestead in real life. Yeah. Hopefully by then I'll have a lot more syrup coming in. I think today the sap was flowing really well. So I was out there once this morning, once this afternoon. This morning there's still a bunch of frozen sap in the barrels. So when I went out this afternoon, it was a little better. but the sap is coming in pretty good. Hey, Jane, how you doing? Thanks for dropping in. I got your email, but I haven't had time to reply. It's been kind of crazy around here. Been running around. We got a lot of stuff on the go lately. But I will reply to your email. Don't you worry. This evening when I get in, I need to go do a few things on the computer, and then while I get to bed. NOR. So it's JONFAULKNOR @gmail.com. I can probably type it in here. Let me see if I can. Okay. There we go. Right there. So yeah, send me an email and I'll give you my address. You can drop by on, I think you said Friday, right? Or on the 20th. I don't even know what date it is anymore. Yeah, just send me an email like 2 or 3 days in advance. Because, yeah, you know, there's always something going on around here. This time of the season, we're kind of in and out. If it's awesome, you're welcome. What day is March 20th? Is it Saturday, Sunday? I need to check my calendar. We might be doing oh wait, no, we're doing 2 CD Saturdays. So one's gonna be in Apsley, and then the other one's gonna be in Bancroft, and that's on I think the 27th to 28th of March. So we should be around. I don't really leave too often, but we do once in a while. All right, let's check this out here. Jane, do you have any seeds started yet? I got a bunch going already. Started some tomatoes last week. I got a heater in my greenhouse now, so I've sort of been playing around with it a bit, but we're almost out of wood for a wood boiler right now. We've never gone through this much wood. Because we had a little girl in the fall, we had the boiler going a lot sooner than normal. So I'm heading to a friend's tomorrow, and she's had a bunch of trees down from the last windstorm like a year and a half or 2 years ago. And she's had a bunch of branches fall off. So I'm going to go over with the chainsaw tomorrow and cut some wood up so I got some more wood for my boiler. Because I can't get to the bush right now. There's still, pop the door open, there's still so much wood out, or snow out there. I can't get my four-wheeler out there very well. So yeah, I can't get up the hill. Usually I get most of my wood from back there. And yeah, let's check out some of the animals while we're out here. Come see Maple. This is Maple here. Maple, one of our cows. She's a little Jersey. Hey Maple, how you doing? Oh yeah, gonna say hi to everybody. And that's Star and Sparkles and the water buffalo are in their little shed over here. Where are they? Oh, they're hiding out in the shed there. And we got some cows not cows, goats. And the naughty goats here. They all escaped their other pen here, so I had to catch them all and throw them into this pen. Always fun. And then we got our little piglets. I think some of you guys probably have seen some of the videos or my shorts I've been doing. Got some little piglets. I'm gonna come back into the sugar shack where it's warm. It's not kind of drizzly outside. And I got this new door here too. I don't know if you guys saw in some of my previous videos. It's great because I'm not having the wind rush through here now. I'm cooling down the evaporator. I've got my window there, which is nice. It has an extra light. I put up a little shelf this year, so I got more storage. And I got lots more room along here. I got to organize a bit more, but it's a lot nicer than it was. It was a bit of a gong show. I think I need to get some more wood on here. Just give me a second here, guys. I'll set you up here and stock up some wood here. Okay, there we go. What I might do actually is 7 o'clock now. I'm probably gonna not put much more wood in. I want the embers to burn down because what I have to do, I have to tip this pan up so that the sap comes out, or the syrup comes out the nozzle here into my bucket. So when there's a lot of wood in there, it gets really hot and it's hard to do. So usually when I think is almost close to syrup time, I'll stop adding wood and just let it boil down a bit more so it's ready to rock and roll. But in the meantime, I'm going to put my feet up again. And yeah, if you guys have any other questions about my process here, feel free to ask. And yeah, sorry for the bad light. I should be turned around, but it's so much condensation on the roof. It's dripping on me everywhere I go here. This roof is kind of odd. Like there's a seam through the top where the joints connect. But when it rains, there's always water dripping down. So I've been up a few times with some caulking and try to caulk it up so it doesn't drip anymore. But it still drips. I gotta sort that out. So it's not like so I'm not being rained on. Maybe I'll turn on here for a few minutes so you can see me even better. There you go. That's much better lighting. They don't look so drab and dreary. How do you, in a V, I can't even pronounce how you have your name. What's your real name in real life? So I try to get to know people's names when they come on. I know you've been watching my videos quite a bit lately. Appreciate it. It's a Friday. Okay, yeah, we should be here Friday for sure. Generally around. There we go. So we go through a lot of wood. So there's all this wood here, and on the other side, there's another big wood shed on that side as well. So usually on most years, if it's a good sap season, we go through a lot of wood boiling away because we don't do the reverse osmosis. We go through a lot of wood. I bet you if I use reverse osmosis, that's probably all the wood I would need to boil everything down. But that's not my gig. I like the old school slow way, which means I just spend more time sitting here chilling out. I started doing live streams really in the Sugar Shack last year. I don't do them anywhere else just because I'm sitting here doing nothing else. So I may as well show everybody the process and what I'm doing. And yeah, just gonna grab some water here. It's hard to talk this long. All right. That's better. Should have made hot chocolate to bring it out with me. That would have been probably fantabulous. Mark. Let's see what we can do here. Nice. Yeah, Coy Hill. I like going through Coy Hill. It's a nice little town. Not much there. We go to the fair every year there, and well, this year we entered some stuff in the fair on the veggie selection, and then last year we didn't get time, but 2 years ago we did. We won a bunch of little ribbons, which was kind of fun. So it's nice to meet you, Mark. Do you have acreage down in Coy Hill? Yeah, I always like driving through there. It's a nice little spot. It's kind of funny to see that town be really quiet, and all of a sudden on the Coy Hill Fair weekend, it explodes for like 2.5 days. It's super busy and then dead again. Kind of funny how that works. I've always wondered how the Coy Hill Fair got so big and popular, but I guess that's how it goes. Yeah, I'm going to check up in the syrup here again and see how it goes. All right. Boiling away nicely there again. So I might actually slow this down a bit. The sap coming in. There we go. So I really want to get this pulled off tonight. I'm pretty sure it's pretty close. So I want to have less of the sap coming in so it doesn't dilute as much and get as much sugar concentration as I can out of this. And like I said, I'm not going to put any more wood in there, I don't think now. I just want to get this down. So I'm not here till like 10 o'clock at night. 10 acres, that's pretty decent. That's lots to do stuff on. Do you have any animals and anything like that as well, or just your acreage? There you go, you can see it boiling away there nicely. I'm going to put this down quickly here. I'm going to skim off some more of the foam. Oh, sorry about that. There we go. But yeah, once it gets to this point where it gets the foam starts turning brownish, showing people earlier on, when it gets kind of like this point, you know you're close to having syrup. Go. Another round of foam skimmed off there. That works well. Going nicely. So it's after skimming it looks like it's still fairly thin. Hopefully that doesn't fog up there. So yeah, I'm guessing by the time the wood is done burning in there, it should be pretty good consistency. And like I said, I don't have the thermometer, so it's really hard to check without having a thermometer. My wife said she's got one of those pointed two one, but I don't reach the surface temperature, and I want to get the internal temperature so that I can get a correct readout on the temperature of the syrup. Okay. Small lake cottage, very quiet. We plant and harvest what the beasts first. Very nice. Yeah, I hear a lot of people have a lot of beasts that eat a lot of things on them. We're pretty lucky here. We got the guard dog, and the only time I really get anything in my garden here is at the end of the season. In the fall, usually the deer. I don't know what it is. I'm sure it's probably a deer that comes down and they eat tops and feet tops, and that annoys me a bit. So, row covers in the fall now to cover everything up, so I can preserve my things. Because there's nothing worse putting all that work into growing your food and then having those critters eat them all on you. Gonna raise up here some an angle there. So it gets to be kind of boring sometimes just chilling out here. I was saying earlier on, I usually have my music going, but I started to have music going when you're live streaming because you can't hear what people are saying. Yeah, it's all good. At least you can get some stuff out of it. That matters, right? I guess what people say, every critter needs to eat as well, right? So feed your family and feed the critters, even though they have a full forest of food. I guess what you grow for them tastes much better than their pine needles and whatnot, whatever they're eating out there. Did you guys get hit pretty hard with that ice storm the other day? And then the snow afterwards? Apparently it's supposed to snow again this evening, I think, or tomorrow. Excuse me. This winter does not want to end. I feel like it's a normal winter though now. It's yeah. This March has been so up and down. I think it was 2 years ago. My sugar bush had no snow in it whatsoever. I had to use no snowshoes. Last year, I think I had to use snowshoes once, and then it snow melted. But this year, I had used snowshoes, and I was sinking still up to my knees in some spots in the bush. Turkeys eat everything, eh? Oh, that's frustrating. I've got turkeys, but they're out in the back field there, so they don't come down here too often. With the bigger animals and the guard dogs, they scare them away. I've had the cows escape sometimes out of the pen. I need to rework the fence again this year, and I've caught them in the garden a few times, nibbling stuff away, and that frustrates me because there's always the crops that are almost ready to harvest that they eat. And having a market garden here, we really need to have the animals out of the garden and not eating all our profits away. But yeah, that's the way it goes. I got to close it last October. Do you live there full time in Cohill, or is it more like a cottage that you're there just in nicer weather on weekends? I used to live on a lake, and I missed living on a lake. It was so nice, hot days to just jump in. But luckily for us, we're pretty close to a few lakes here that we go to 5-minute drive, so it's not too bad. I take a lot of lakes in the hot days. On those hot, humid days, I'll drive to the lake like twice in a day to cool off. Or I can't focus and work in the garden because it's way too hot. Thanks for dropping by, everyone. If you got any questions about making maple syrup, let me know. We're boiling away here. Nice. Yeah, zucchinis are pretty easy. Last year, actually, my zucchinis were terrible last year. I didn't get any. I had like 6 plants. I had maybe 2 zucchinis. A little frustrating. I'm not sure why. But I keep trying every year. Weekenders, cool. Are you guys from Toronto or somewhere else? Oh, actually, apparently it's past my bedtime almost already. So let's check on the syrup here again. Let's take a look, drop in. So once I stop putting wood in there, the boil starts to slow down a bit. So it's hard to tell. I might actually turn the snap off now because I really want this to boil down and get to the point where I can just pull it off fairly quick. It still looks like it's still quite not quite syrupy. It's probably about 101 degrees, I would think, which is my guess without having a thermometer on me. But yeah, we're getting there. Put these on probably so I can read it. Cool. GTA. So once I stop stocking the wood up so much, the boil starts to slow down a bit, but it's still doing its job. You can still see a lot of steam coming off it. Not as much as if I had a lot of wood in it, but yeah, I don't want to go too hot because I have to tip this up and take the syrup off. It's way too hot. The heat comes out the sides and it's really warm. So I try to keep the embers down near the end of it if I can, and yeah, that's how it goes. Thanks for dropping in, everybody. Where's everyone from tonight? Let me know in the comments. If you got questions, like I said, feel free to ask questions. Gives me something to talk about instead of just rambling on. You see the glow of the fire right there in the corner there. Oh, where's it? Hard to do it right there. You see the orange there from the heat of it. My 5th or 6th day boiling so far. I boiled, I think, 2 days ago, and it froze up. No, maybe 3 days ago it froze up, and then I'm back at it again today. And then, like I said, once I get the syrup off, I'm going to flood the pan fully with whatever sap is left in the milk tank, which is quite a bit. And then I'll have all my frozen sap in here because it all frees up in the tank. I won't be able to get any of it out. So I want to be able to have some in here at least that I can actually boil hopefully tomorrow afternoon and start another round. And I'll fill up. I got some buckets here too. I'll fill some of those up with sap probably so I have them in here. And then once I start boiling, I can put them by the evaporator. They can thaw out. And then once I boil down, so I can dump them in there and keep boiling away. That's the plan anyway. Oh, Yes, there's a valve. So on this tank here, there is a valve here. See that? But with my evaporator here, we have a problem every year. The ground heaves, so it's never level. Last year was tipped a bit back farther, which I actually preferred to have it tipped back farther. But this year it's really, I tried to level again, but it's like slanted this way. So the sap in the back, there's like, there'll be like this much syrup in the back and this much in the front. So I actually burned my pan. Oh, well, not burned. I almost had it burnt the first day because I didn't realize it was so far off. I really need to get in here and try to re-level it again because it's better to have your pan flat. Ideally, what I should have done is when I first had my evaporator room, I should have poured a concrete patch. Everything was level, but didn't have the cash at the time. So now I'm suffering for it, but it's all good. There's another one. I'll show you the other big one here. There's a few valves on it. So what happens is the sap comes in through the hole there from the milk tank through the copper pipe here, which preheats it. It comes around the back and it comes to this box here. This valve is usually open, but I keep it closed when I'm boiling just on that one. It comes to the float box here. The float box, you can keep your level of sap up where you like it to. What happens is it flows through the first pan here, and the sap flows all the way through the pans here. So as it boils down, I can actually walk away, and as the sap boils down in the pans here, the float box drops down or raises up. I'm not sure which way it goes. And then I think it raises up actually, and the more sap comes in, and then it just auto feeds. So it goes through here to here, all the way down. And so there's one valve here. It's hard to see with the light. And this one I usually use if I have to when I'm starting to make syrup. But this one is there. This is the draw off. It's hard to see with the light here. This is the draw off for syrup. And then there's another valve here, which I use when I'm almost finished syrup. I shut this valve off, and then I use this valve over here to fill a bucket, and I'll fill this pan right to the very top, and then I'll let that boil all the way down. And then once it's boiled down, I pretty much have syrup. I usually get about like 10 liters of syrup off that every time I do a boil. So yeah, so that's pretty basic pan, just a basic flat pan. And this one's a bit more involved, but this one boils probably like 2 to 3 times more sap. It's a lot bigger rig for sure. I'm actually wanting to look to upgrade to another evaporator, a bigger one, just because I'm at the point in my syrup making career that I have about 400 taps, but I'm probably almost max at what I can do with the 2 evaporators here. So I wouldn't mind a newer one where I could actually boil, have a capacity to be able to do like 800 taps if I was able to. Because I can tap more trees at the back, but what has happened now is I've kind of plateaued where all the drop is, where all the hill part is. So the next area I like to open up is flat. So what I would need to do is get myself like a short flow pump and a solar panel and rig something up so I could suck sap from I could probably do another 150 taps in that area easily. So I could suck sap. That's tongue twister. Suck sap back to my main line and have it all come back down to my collection point. But if I was to do that and get a new evaporator, I was actually thinking of building a sugar shack out in the woods so I didn't have to haul it back. It would just come right down to my sugar shack, and then I'd be laughing. But that presents another problem too with cleaning up. I have to take water out, clean out there, and it's a ways to go. So I'm still trying to figure out what my best solution is for down the road. So I would really love to not have to haul that back. But on that point, then I would have to haul my syrup back too. So we'll see what happens. Maybe one day, if that happens, I'll have everything in the sugar shack, finishing station with propane stove, so I can finish my syrup there and bottle it as well. So I'm not having to drive it all back. Then I'll have to just bring back my bottles of syrup, which would make life so much easier. Okay, I'm just gonna check on here. See how it's looking. All right. So yeah, I figure probably by 8 o'clock it'll be ready to pull off. It might still be a bit too liquidy by then, but I'll just have to boil longer inside. But that's kind of the chances you take when you don't have a thermometer on you. It's really nice in here when it starts becoming syrupy because it smells so good. I usually have a spoon too. I can taste it too. Sometimes you can taste the consistency on your tongue too, and how thick it is. And then that's another way to tell as well. But yeah, it smells so good. Nothing like fresh maple syrup. Okay. Yeah, actually, I do market my own syrup for the most part. I sell out every year. So I think I was saying earlier on, we usually keep 40 liters for ourselves for the year because we go through a fair bit of it for ourselves. So like coffees, teas, yogurts, we bake with it as well. But I've got a lot of repeat customers that come back every year and come and stock up on me. I have a real estate agent over in Bob Cage, and she usually buys like, I think last year, man, what did she buy? Like 15 to 20 liters off me for her clients as client gifts. She bought off me 2 or 3 times, which is pretty sweet. But yeah, if I could easily probably make 400 liters, and I could probably sell that easily every year. And now this year too, I think I was saying earlier on, Hastings County is doing Maple March Madness, and I think there's 4 reps using our syrup. So, the owner of the Granite, they own the Granite, they own the Brew Pub, Bankrupt Brew Pub, and they own the BCE Cafe. So they're all using it. So we actually tried the Brussels sprouts this evening. It's an appetizer that they make with our maple syrup for the month. It's really good. So we tried that. And the fish and chip place is using our syrup as well. So then like a maple tartar sauce. So that was really good. We tried that a few weeks ago. And then we're going out to the Brew Pub probably I think this week sometime. And they're doing like, I think maple nachos with our maple syrup. So far they bought 12 liters of syrup. Them fish and chip places bought 2 liters. So I mean that's already pretty good sale right there. So that's why I'm trying to play catch up right now. Like I was saying earlier on, that I had to dip into my private stash to provide them because we didn't have any syrup because season started so late this year, which is a good problem to have, I guess. Yeah, so yeah, like I was saying, hopefully I love to get more taps, and it's just a matter of trying to figure out how to get the staff all the way back, and it just means going back farther in the woods. And yeah, I've had so many issues this year with my 4-wheeler too. So right now, as seen earlier on, my 4-wheeler I can only pull start it, and even that is rough to go because the choke's not working on it now. The electric start went on it, so I've got a solenoid I ordered, so I can replace the solenoid. Hopefully, it's going to come tomorrow or the next day. Hopefully, the choke cable comes the next day or two, so my friend can help me fix that. And we have a 6-wheeler as well, but that's been out of commission. We can't figure out what's wrong with it. I just put a new battery in, and we thought that might be the problem, and that didn't fix it. So my friend's coming over on Wednesday. He's pretty knowledgeable on fixing up 4-wheelers and 6-wheelers. He's going to help me figure it out. So I got 2 pieces of equipment that are kind of down and out. 4-wheeler's fine. Like I can get start, but they have a secondary choke on it right underneath the carburetor. But it's really hard to get your hand into it. So it's a 2-person job to get it started, which is kind of silly. But once it's warmed up, it's not too bad. Pull starts pretty easily. So to get that electric start fixed right away, because once the stuff starts rolling really fast in the next week or two, I'm going to need to stop pull starting because it's so rough on the body. So yeah, there's always I want like one piece of equipment. So if it breaks down, then I have one thing to fix because I'm not very knowledgeable in fixing mechanical that. I'm starting to learn things like how to clean carburetors and stuff, but not on like 4-wheeler. 4-wheeler seems like a lot of parts to take off to do it, but like on my water pumps for pumping staff and stuff, I clean the carbs on those, and the generator we have for the last part we're just out. It's kind of finicky, so I kind of sort of just did a basic clean on the carburetor, but I need to take it apart a bit more and actually do a real clean on it so it runs properly. But this is all stuff that I don't have time to do, and I don't really like doing that kind of stuff, but It's a lot cheaper to fix that stuff than take it to my local mechanic. Yeah, so we've got some actually real estate agent friends that live across the street. I might see if they want to eat some of my syrup, depending on how much we have. Because right now, I think I have probably like 25 liters pre-ordered. So I'm trying to play catch up now and like fulfill those orders, so that I can approach anybody else. I really think this season is going to be a really low season for syrup. I don't think I'm going to get a whole lot with the way the temps have been, unless it's going to be a super late season, and then like the first two at that time I'm out. Depending on if the snow melts, I'm out in the garden trying to get my garden beds planted, that stuff ready for the market. I tried to plant my greenhouse a few weeks ago, but we got a heater in there. I just put in this year, but it's been way too cold at night, so I haven't been bothered running it. Plus, we're almost out of wood, so I think I said earlier on to you, we're going to Friends tomorrow, get some free wood since I can't get to the woods right now. Get any wood. We've been looking at trying to buy wood as well, but I really don't want to pay for wood, especially when you have the whole thing of whole bush of woods out there for us. Yeah, I'm just gonna go jump up quickly. I'm gonna poke some of the embers around there to see if they'll boil down a bit better here or burn them down faster. Just give me a moment here. I'll set you guys up here again. Okay, there we go. It's definitely slow down the boil now, but it's okay. Yeah, there's gonna be enough heat in there now for at least a good 3-4 hours. Usually, what I do at nighttime. Sorry, give me a second. What I do at nighttime, if I have sorry, lost my train of thought. What I do is if I'm boiling away and I still have a lot of sap and I'm not pulling syrup off, I'll fill the pan up to about 3/4 or halfway up sap, load up with wood, and then head inside for the night. And when I come back out in the morning, it's always dropped down to like quarter in the pan. So it's an easy way to get sap boiled while I'm not out here. Well, I don't know if I'm not sure about the drought for the sap production. It has a lot to do with the temperature, right? So we had those days where it's been above zero during the day and zero at night. We've only had maybe like 5 or 6 of those days, and the first week when it was really warm like that, the trees were just warming up to thawing out. So that doesn't help. And then as well, now like it's freezing up again tomorrow for 2 days. So the sap's not going to flow for 2 more days. So it keeps doing that. It'll flow for 2 days, freeze up for 2 or 3 days, thaw it again. So it's really hard to be consistent. Whereas I think 3 years ago, the temperatures were perfect for like a week straight. It was just like up above zero during the day, low at nighttime. And that's what I had like 6,000 liters of sap in like a week. It was ridiculous. It's probably more. And every time I went out there, the barrels were overflowing. So, and then, yeah, and last year too, I've had some leak issues with my main line I put in. I didn't have the right connections and stuff. So I got that sorted out. Went out today, and some of them were still leaking, even though I had them properly. So I got to go back out and readjust a few things again, because I probably lost 10, 15 liters of sap, I would think, just through it leaking through this in the lines. There's always something going on. I'm hoping to actually get some guy out here this year. I'm able to start consultant to come take a look at my bush and tell me what I can do to make it better, make it more or less work. Because I'm just trying to streamline my flow so I don't have much work. The first 2 years, we just had blue barrels out there for collection points. And we had a hand bomb the sap from the barrel into our tote. And I was ridiculous. Driving back here, I hand bomb it from the ground all the way up to my other tote. And that was way too much. Milk tank for dirt cheap. This big milk tank, I think it's 800 gallons, I was told. I don't think it's that much. But like the guy, old farmer, had it in his field for years when he just sold it for $200. I had guys offer me $1,000 like 2 days later for it. Should have sold it, but it's coming handy. I'm not selling that thing. So now what I do now, I got 2 large white totes out in the field, 1,000-liter totes. I got 2 blue barrels. And I got about 5 or 6 buckets around as well. And I've got it set up so I have my water pump. I pump my it's just for sap. I don't intertwine it, but I pump from 1,000-liter tote into the 4-wheeler, drive the sap back, and pump it from the 4-wheeler up into my tote there. And on a good day, I'll have to do like 3 to 4 runs in the morning. And if it's really running well, I'll have to do like 2 to 3 runs at nighttime as well. I'll step back. And that's when this tote is full and I can't keep up. That's when I have to open up both evaporators here and have it running full blast. Well, that's when you start making real syrup, is when it's running that well. And ideally, what I like to do to get a little short flow pump and hook it up to some of the lines I have already, and I'll suck more sap down and make it easier to get to places that I need to get to. All right, let's check in on the sap. See sap here again, or not sap, syrup. See how she's boiling away. Slowly now, because it's just down to embers, which is okay. So what I've got 2 buckets of water here that I have. And what I usually do is as soon as I drain the syrup off, I pour in a bucket of water and I give it a good scrub, empty it out, and put another bucket of water, then empty it out. And after that, I'll fill it up with sap again to get her going for the next round. So that's usually my, I might show you that process, I'm not sure. Because it's a lot of running around and getting stuff organized. And not trying to get burnt because the embers are still pretty warm down there. Awesome. Thanks, Mark. Thanks for dropping in. And yeah, send me that email and we'll get you some syrup when you're coming through Bancroft next on the 20th there. Sounds good. Have a great evening. All right. There we go. Yeah, what I think I'll do, I'll just let this go till 8 o'clock. The syrup just to slowly finish off the embers. And then we will get this thing strained off. And we'll be ready to have some syrup to take inside and finish inside. Probably, if all goes well, I might be able to do tomorrow afternoon. I got to run over to a friend's place and get some wood that's or falling over the trees. I hope the light's better. It looks kind of dark there. There we go. It's better. So yeah, hoping to get this off, and then I'm going to fill the pan again with more sap here, so that we are ready to rock. So I'm just going to set you guys down over here quickly while I clean up some of the area here, so I can get organized for that, Sarah. Okay. Maybe might be ready to rock in a few minutes here. I'm probably gonna have to end the stream in a minute with you guys. I need to run to the house quickly. I need another bucket out here because this is definitely gonna take 2 buckets worth of syrup here. I got my 2 buckets here full of water so I can clean the pans. But I didn't think I was gonna pull the syrup off tonight, but I'm actually going to do it now because I want to get the next bunch of sap through before it freezes up tonight. Because that freezes up in the milk tank, that's gonna be frozen there for days, even if it warms up outside. be hard to get that sap through again. So yeah, by the time I get back, this should be ready to be almost pulled off. And yeah, so thanks for dropping in. Appreciate it. Don't forget, hit that like button. If you guys can, share my channel around, be appreciated. And have a great night. We'll all see you again. I'll do another live stream sometime next week if we get more sap. And hopefully by then we'll have enough sap we can fire up the big evaporator. You can see both of them running at top speed. All right, guys. Well, have a great night. We'll see you later.